So welcome back. This is Entertainment Review. We are delving into our style inspiration for today. And before we went on the break, we gave you a hint that this person is very, very important because first things first, she's celebrating her birthday today. She turns 50. She is a Ghanaian radio personality. Wikipedia describes her as an occasional TV personality as well. She's a brand ambassador. Our style inspiration for today is Doreen Andor. Yes, Doreen is our style inspiration for today. You know, last year, I saw her face to face for the first time at the Glitz organizers. There's every year they recognize about 10 women, for their hard work, their inputs in society. And then Doreen Andor was recognized. And when I saw her, I was like, she's so beautiful. And she looks the same to me.
Yeah.
Since
same.
I was a kid, watching her, listening to her and all that, seeing pictures of her, she looked the same to me. And she turns 50 today. So happy birthday to Doreen Andor. And she's our style inspiration as well.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's the Glitz Women of the Year.
Okay.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, she's a great inspiration to a lot of people. I mean, to most of us. I mean, if you loved radio like myself, when you listen to radio, you listen to Doreen, the way she does the presentation, the way she talks, how she carries herself and all of that. So it's just great that we appreciate her and we acknowledge her and honor her on the show as we can, as our style inspiration for today. So happy birthday to you, ma'am. We wish you the very best. And of course, the young ladies who want to be grow to her age, 50 years and look still,
just shading, but I won't complain.
Yeah, so that's it about the style inspiration for today. So let's get into the discussion bit. It's going to be a long one. So today the topic is Afrobeats music, the Ghana perspective. That's where we're taking it from. Afrobeats music, the Ghana perspective. And as I mentioned earlier, this is coming on the back of a documentary that was released. The producer, Ayo Shanaya, he's a Nigerian entertainment. I mean, he's everything. When I read about, that he's got everything under. And then when it comes to entertainment in Nigeria, in fact, in Africa. And he put this piece together about Afrobeats with the years. Now, watching it, and I know most of you probably have watched it, watching it, a lot of questions come up looking to the fact that it is, I don't want to use the word skewed, but they are looking at it from their perspective, from the Nigerian perspective. So the first episode to the second, it's all about how Nigerian music started from back in the days and the switch to some groups that came in, Two-Face and his Style Plus, the Tribesmen, and a number of them, and the kind of sound that came after, and the progression thereafter. I was thinking about it. How about Ghana? What is our story? We've talked Hiplife for a very long time. What is that? So that's why today we're having this conversation. So to my right, ladies and gentlemen, we're saying that this man, he's also been an inspiration. Those of us used to watch Foresight TV back then, UK staff, it's always been him. Ludwig Nee Jr. is our guest. He's here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's
a
great honor to see you. I know Nana is
you.
excited also.
Oh yeah, I'm super
I'm
excited.
excited to be here. So thank you.
But we have to allow him to tell us what he has been doing for for some time now. Yes.
What, right now or
Yes.
tomorrow? So, effectively, for those who know me or those who don't know me, previously, when we didn't have the internet as we have it now, when we didn't have the Facebooks, we didn't have the Snapchats, there was a TV show called Foresight TV, and I was the face of that from the UK arm. So I would bring you guys the entertainment that you see, the Fuso DGs, the Inyanyas, the Tonto DKs, so
Doneo.
Yeah, Doneos. So it was about what we are talking about now, but back then it was about bringing information back home. And for me, it's always about what can I do to be connected back home? What can I do to support the industry in the little humble way that I can?
Okay.
So that time has passed. I do Swiss HQ now, similar thing. And from what I've said before, I'm always trying to add value to Ghana. So at the moment, what I'm doing now is that I've got, I'm working with a company called Radio Monitor. We are here in Ghana. And it's interesting that we are speaking about Nigerian music because one of the issues that we have in Ghana is that people make music and they don't know where their music is played on the radio. So it's great to be number one on iTunes. It's great to be number one on Spotify, but you don't know that your song is being played in Bogatanga.
Okay.
So if you don't know where your songs are being played in your country, you can't maximize what you do. So if you go to SwissHQAfrica.co.uk, we have come to Ghana to assist our artists, assist our labels, assist our radio presenters, assist promoters and people who want to invest in music. Because right now, if you are investing in music and somebody says, give me the data on Ghana music, nobody has it. So when we look at how the music is progressing from with our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, and we're saying, what are we doing? We are missing one part of our foundation, which is we need to know where we're going. So Swiss HQ Africa, that's what we're doing. And I've got a school and I've written a book, and everything is to make sure that I add value to the creative space.
That's great. That's great to know. And of course, this is the second time on the show. The very first time was a great one. And I don't like to mention the actual name. Emmanuel Salvador, a.k.a. Olele Salvador. He's here with us. He's an entertainment journalist with City TV and City FM. Yeah, welcome.
Great to be back again. It's great to be back with you guys. 'Cause I feel like it's like my second home.
Yeah,
so
good to have you.
Free.
Yeah, good to have you. Good to have you. And later on the show, we'll be joined by the CEO of Three Music Network, Sadiq Abdullahi, and also renowned sound engineer. He's a big man, Zap Mallet. He'll also be joining us, as we discuss the issues. I want to begin with Ludwig. You've been out there. The conversation about Afrobeats kind of started in the UK. And I mean, when I was reading, lots of people were crediting it to DJ Brantier.
That's correct, 100%.
Tell us about it.
From what I can remember, and many people can remember, DJ Brantier was the person who was pioneering Afrobeats. It wasn't necessarily about which country, it was about, he saw a vision. I don't think I saw it at the time, I'll be honest. This guy is pushing this Afrobeat stuff, and all the events he does is called Afrobeats. And we used to go O2 Arena in Greenwich, and he pushed that, and he pushed that, and he pushed that. I was asked this question, I think last week when I was on radio, and the question was, if DJ Brantier started Afrobeats and it was like a Ghanaian movement, how come it's almost like the Ghana side has fallen over and the Nigerian side is pushing across? And my answer was, I can't give you a definitive answer. What has happened has happened. What are we going to do now that this is where we are? Because we can go back and talk about what's gone wrong or what's gone right. But to me, my thing is that we have a lot of work to do, but our work is not as hard as it used to be.
Okay.
So we have systems to help us. We have label managers. We have got contacts. We've got radio players. We've got you guys here. So in terms of our landscape for entertainment, I don't think it's as hard as it looks like. It's a numbers game. We are competing with a country that, Lagos is as big as Ghana. So there's going to be an impact. So I think sometimes I hear people say, we need to do Ghana music. We need to do Ghana Afrobeats. But Ghanaian artists are doing hip hop and it's not Ghanaian. So why is it that when they come to a certain type of music, we want it to be Ghana, but we're happy to do R&B, happy to do hip hop. But if our neighbors, our brothers, our cousins are doing something, why don't we just collaborate and move? Because it's our movement.
Okay.
So for me, that's how I see it. I see it as we need to come together. And yes, we do our high life and that's our song and that's what we've got a legacy and we don't want no one to touch that. But if we've got Afrobeats and that's something that we are doing as a collective, why do we want to split it and restart it? Because when we sing and when we rap, we have a Ghana accent. That's us. When Nigerians do it, they've got their Nigerian accent. That's them. So it's still the same music, but we sound different. But I think if we concentrate on the fact that we now have a platform via Nigeria, and people might not like it, but that's the fact. If you may not like it, but what is your alternative?
Yes.
If you have an alternative, I'll say cool. But until we have one, I think we need to go with what's working.
Yeah.
And at the moment, there are so many collaborations with Ghana, Nigeria, different countries. So many artists are doing so well. So I know people don't like it. What alternative do you have? I don't have any.
Yeah, for Desi, he believes that.
Yeah, we're going according to, what it is right now. Don't you think that is making us lose our identity?
No,
I
because
disagree.
when the rappers are rapping, what do we lose?
Exactly.
When the rappers are rapping and they're rapping and they're
Because
saying,
of
we
late, a
got
lot
rappers
of-
out here in Ghana, and we have the castles out there where the slaves were taken from this country, and those rappers are using NIGGA words. Okay, so and we don't think it's a problem. We got a castle here where slaves, our forefathers were taken, and rappers are using words that is very, very derogatory to our culture.
Yeah.
And we don't have a problem. But as soon as we go to a different place, and I think maybe it's because the rapping is maybe not seen as a big thing, so maybe we don't focus on that so much.
I think they feel that competition is big in that field.
So we don't make an impact.
Yes, we don't want to step up. Yeah, that is the problem.
And that's the point. But I think for me, people don't like it, and there are many people who voice their opinions that they don't like the fact that Ghana is following Nigeria.
Exactly.
But that is cool.
Yeah.
So what is Ghana doing?
Even if we use the
I don't have a
alternative,
problem
it
with
will
people
take a
not
long
liking
time.
it.
Yeah, it will
That's
take
what
a
I believe. If we use the alternative, which Desi wants us to use,
Which is what one?
it will take a long time. I wouldn't be able to bear witness to it. It will take a long, because Nigerians have come a long way.
Okay.
It starts from somewhere.
Well, it started from somewhere, and if you watch the documentary, it talks about it. So this is how I'll bring Olele in. You've watched the documentary, and I want us to start from that bit, from high life to, for us, Hiplife, and for them, I think there were some other kinds of music that came in before the Afrobeats, for less Afrobeats without the S. This whole conversation, Afrobeats. What do you think?
What is the
about
difference?
I mean, you've seen me go on a rage already, so I'll just try and keep my cool. But
We'll calm you down.
the last time I came here, and I always go back to that conversation we had, because it was like clockwork. When I talked about taking charge of our narrative,
Yeah.
you know, and having people in the room, you know, because this is where we're at right now. You know, the difference between us and Nigeria is that they own it.
Thank you.
You know, it's like, allow me to deviate a bit. It's like the kind of issues Guta is experiencing in terms of trade when you go to Circle.
Yeah.
That you see a Ghanaian man selling the same goods to you, and a Nigerian man selling the same thing to, you know, their customers, right? But the way a Nigerian man will sell the same goods and services is different from the way the Ghanaian man will sell. It's the same thing with our music. It's the same thing with our history. We already have come to agree that Fela came to Ghana to learn the Afrobeat sound. It is there. History backs it.
Yeah.
Okay. But then you ask yourself, after Fela took you to Nigeria, what did we do?
Right.
What did we do? I saw TikTok in the documentary where they were trying to introduce the first time in a long time since we saw a Ghana-Nigeria collaboration. That was TikTok, Tony Tatula.
Yeah, big song.
Right?
Big song.
And you see the way they sold the story as though they had a plan. You get it? Like the whole documentary makes it look like we had a plan.
Yeah.
And we're just looking for people to give us a push. So we come to Ghana and realize that, okay, Ghana is actually doing what we think we should do. If Ghana can actually see the good in what we are doing, but as well just put our arsenals on it and push it.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea of what's going on right now. So be it Afrobeat or Afro, and to add to what Ludwig said, like we always come again to history and we say that DJ Ambrate, you know, DJ Ambrate Afrobeats was a show in the UK, I think in 2011.
The club night, yeah.
Yes, 2011 on Extra, Capital Extra, right? Where he was, I think it was Sundays, he was doing a show from 12 to 2, if I'm not mistaken. And the whole idea of the show was to just play sounds from Africa.
Yeah.
Okay? So he had the opportunity, like the way other DJs now have the opportunity in other countries, to like play exclusive sounds from Africa. And he says, you know what, I'm going to mash everything up and call it Afrobeats with the S. So he starts pushing some of the, at that time, you know, we had the Netosis, the bands, you know, here when you come down, you have the, what you call the Fuse ODGs. And so he was just pushing it. But at the time, the community of Afrobeats, you know, it wasn't really ready for the sound. Do you get it? But it just took 1 month to say, you know what, I'm going to defy the odds. So DJ Ambrate goes to O2. He's a DJ of a particular concert. He plays sounds from Africa there. And it starts spreading. Now that's where the numbers come into play. Now Nigerians said, okay, you know what? there's something good here.
Yeah.
Why don't we keep talking about our music? Why don't we keep sharing our music? But we were down here in Ghana, trying to, like I said yesterday, like that's the last time I came here. We like to do
Okay.
local champion, local champion. It's all us, and we're just focusing on Ghana.
Yeah.
But the Nigerians realized that no, you know what? Let's spread our
wings,
tentacles because DJ Brante has drawn our attention to something.
Yes.
So they started pushing the sound. So you realize that the Davidos, the Wizkids, the Tiwa Savages, even the Two Faces, they will come to Ghana, they will come and listen to how the Ghanaian sound was like. But just like the way Fela did it.
Okay.
Fela came. Okay.
Olele, sorry to continue to continue, but we have Zab Mallet, the renowned sound engineer, on phone right now. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us here on Intimates Review.
Can I ask a question? Who was the last speaker who just spoke?
Hello, sir.
The guy who just last spoke.
That's Emmanuel Sapon.
Well, he's taking the point of my field.
You have.
Okay, so I know it wasn't too clear what was happening there, but we'll get him back on the line. Zab Mallet, renowned sound engineer, and I want to ask him about the production bits from the 1990s, late 1990s into 2000s, that transition. What exactly happened around that moment? Olele, you can go on as well.
Yeah, so basically we had, some of these stars coming. I mean, I don't want to go into the history of the ET Men's and stuff like that because I wasn't born then. But of course, history has documented that already. And thanks to Professor John Collins, who has documented this in his various series of High Lifetime. When you read a book, you realize what happened with our transition when it comes to sound. I am here to talk about what we witnessed in terms of the Afrobeats evolution, how we haven't had the opportunity to own a narrative. And I think it's because, one, we don't have the finances to do so. If we had the finances, because I know there are a number of people who have stories to tell.
Yeah.
They have a number of people who have the documentary to tell, but they don't have the money to push it.
Are you sure about
I mean,
that?
we do.
I think
I've always said that our
think
industry
you-
lacks money.
No,
Well,
even
I mean,
if
I
we
don't-
lack
I
the
don't
money,
think
even
it-
if we lack the money, he made mention about something like the whole TikTok at that time. Don't you think Ghanaians were so centered on themselves that it was more of promoting themselves and the music than actually documentary everything they were doing at that time?
I mean, okay, this is how I want to see it, right? You have TikTok with Fene and Faye,
Yeah.
one of the biggest songs of our time
Yeah.
at the time, right? And he did a song with Tony Tatilia,
Yeah.
right? Okay, we'll hold that thought for a second. The last time FBS went on a TV station to say when they were big, P Square used to open the show for them because they were learning a lot from them, right? Okay. Now it comes back to the local championship, right? We have a sound that we've been able to create for ourselves. At that point in time, I wouldn't even say we were calling Afrobeats, because then we were seen as Hiplife.
Hiplife.
Yeah, Hiplife.
You get me? Seen as
Hiplife.
it was DJ Brante who said, but because it's coming from Africa, we just call it
let's make it
Afrobeats.
one. Yeah,
You get?
Afrobeats,
So we won't see it as, we were seen as Hiplife. And Hiplife was doing the bits in Nigeria. People were going to Nigeria to play shows.
Yeah, for the VIP.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And TikTok always talked about how he can say for himself that he put money in touring Africa to sell the Ghanaian sound. He talks about it all the time. But when you look back now, haven't, exceeded expectations in that era? Where do we document the total story of these guys who have blazed the path or trailblazed the path? We don't have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We come back to Reggie Rackstones and Hiplife, right? Someone has actually done a documentary on Hiplife. It's not on Netflix.
No.
Do you get it? And to get your stuff on Netflix, you need sponsors. You need the people. You need
Even
to
they are not
connect.
even focusing on
You get
Ghana
it?
yet.
So
Yeah, I think there is money in Ghana. I think we just
Yeah.
don't explain what we are doing.
Yeah.
And we don't have the
There's
right
money in
people.
Ghana.
We don't have the
There's
right
money in
people
Ghana or
to.
there's money in the industry.
No, there's money in
in
Ghana,
Ghana.
that can go into the industry, but
Okay.
we are not able to explain what the industry is like for someone to invest in the industry.
Okay.
You come out, how many Land Cruisers do you see driving around?
A lot.
If you these are not people who don't have sense. These are business people, and if you are able to speak to them and tell them what it is that we have, because the artists in Nigeria, they don't have money; they've got investors. So what is it that they have? What
Yeah.
are you investing in?
Yeah.
You're investing in a story. You're investing in an outcome. So from where I sit, I think we know what we want to do. We are not able to explain that for people to put money into it. Because if you look at some of our, can I say this on the air? Maybe not. We have an issue with, I can't say it, but basically we have an issue with our collection system in Ghana, collecting
Oh, yes,
royalties.
that one,
okay,
yeah.
but that issue, from my understanding, having meetings, I don't think it's a big issue. I think we just don't know how to explain it to get money to get done.
Don't you think that, I don't want to call it naivety, lack of knowledge, lack of expose, you know, I feel like the level of, you know, exposure that maybe Nigerians have had over time,
Okay.
it can't be compared to what Ghanaians have had.
Okay.
But you have to go and look for the knowledge, which is free. You can find everything on
We'll
YouTube.
go on with this. We have Andy Zabmalet's back on the line. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us once again. So I was asking about, you know, the sounds from the late 90s into the 2000s. You were there. Just tell us how the euphoria was. I mean, that feeling of a new sound from the late 90s into the early 2000s, sir.
It was just as it was. There wasn't any. It was a normal buzz through the song itself, like when it comes out, and then through the media. That was normally how to get the euphoria going. It's a normal buzz. Sometimes in newspapers. But back then we didn't have social media, so we couldn't get much traction as, you know, an artist gets today. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's much easier to go across the borders today than it was before.
Okay, so we understand the high life bit until the Nana Norms, the Reggie Roxon came in with a new sound, and that sort of sparked a revolution. Now, I want to understand what went into the beat, moving from high life into Hiplife, because the documentary that we are talking about, the Afrobeats, the backstory documentary, they flew down to Ghana and did the band logo, you know, trying to find out the transition from the high life into the Hiplife. Can you tell us what the high life sound is like, and then the Hiplife, the core of it also is like, and maybe what you hear lately as Afrobeats, if you can also break that down for us.
Actually, let me start from let me look at my genesis.
Okay.
As I see it. High life itself, as it is, has been a blend of Ghanaian music and some kind of other music, like most especially American music. High life by itself, by the nature as high life was born, came out of ballroom music, Western music, and the Ghanaian music, palm wine music. So high life by itself is already more or less in a certain way, I mean, for want of a better word, corrupted with another kind of music already. And so down the line, I've had all types of high life, all influenced by still this same American, American dimension. Mm. Because we've had funk highlight. Funk came from America. We've had disco highlight. Disco came from America. We've had reggae highlight. Reggae comes from the same hemisphere. We've had all types of highlights. And highlight seems to always flirt with that kind of the American, a certain generation in America. You know, and so that was what Hiplife was bred. Hiplife came out of the mixture of high life and hip hop. That was it. And so it was a merge. It was kind of a fusion between two genres or two cultures. As I must call it.
Okay.
That way. That was how Hiplife was born. Yes.
Okay. So now to Afrobeats. You followed the sound. People have made reference to Fela Kuti with the Afrobeats and saying that all the songs that we are making now should be Afrobeats because Fela started something like that. Others also think that the new wave of sound with the beats and everything we hear should be put together as Afrobeats. If you've been following that conversation, just let us know what you think.
Yes, I remember some time ago at the beginning of all this, I made a certain reference that, look, this Afrobeat, it doesn't sound like what Fela was doing, from what I know Fela was doing. For me, it doesn't sound anywhere like it. But I was told it is not Afrobeat. It's Afrobeats, a beat with a Z. So obviously there must be a new genre or a new creation that has come, which I think is all right. It's all good for African music anyway. So that's how I look at it. I think it's just a new genre we just all have to embrace and just make a move towards the goal. That's it. I think it's okay. For me, I don't see the qualms about it.
But Uncle, the other thing also has to do with we pushing the narrative our own way as Ghanaians, having the Ghanaian music being documented. Have you been able to do that over the period?
Have I been able to?
No, have we? I mean, together as a collective, as an industry.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, sorry, it's not been done. But you see, the Nigerians are more proactive than we are. And we all know that. You know, everything they kind of take the first step. Because this is not the first time I've heard a thing like this. Or this thing coming up about this documentary. This is not the first time it has happened. I remember some 15, almost 20 years back, I was watching CNN, and they were doing an entertainment show hosted by one Jim Moran, who was standing somewhere in Nigeria, on Tech Road. He was standing there like a village, and he said, what he said was, it was a little kind of documentary about high life, and he said, I remember his words, he said, high life, which began in Ghana, but now here in Nigeria, and I got up and left. I got up and left. So this is not the first time this is happening. Always somebody tells a story, and the person will tell the story from the way he knows it. So we have to now start making our own, we have to start telling our own story. Otherwise people will tell, like the black generation and all the black race, like Africa and Europe, if we wait for them to tell the story, they'll tell it from their point of view. But we have to also be proactive and then make sure we also tell the story from our point of view. Somebody told me about this documentary and was telling me that, he didn't like it and blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, let's not haggle about it. It's just a documentary somebody is making. But I think we also have to, somebody might also be wanting to come out with another documentary, the same documentary, but from a different perspective. So I think it's all good. It's kind of shown, I think, when did this show? Last night. We just have to enjoy it and look at it and laugh. It's one of those entertaining things. We don't have to somebody will have to also come up with a documentary and tell it from our own point of view. As simple as that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Uncle Zab Mallet, for speaking to us this afternoon. So Zab Mallet, renowned, sound engineer, has been there from way back, and he says that let's do our thing. We cannot.
Exactly.
So, as I said before, Swiss HQ Africa, we track all the songs that are played on radio here in Ghana. So if you're an artist, I can tell you what your songs are being played. But do you know that there are hit songs in Ghana by Ghanaian artists that are registered as not Ghanaian?
Really?
Yeah. Right. So, and this is the thing. Why would a Ghanaian want to do a song and register the song as the territory not being Ghanaian? Why would you want to do that? So when we come from the local champion thing that you were saying, there are things that are happening that people can't even openly tell you why they do it. So how can we push forward when we don't even want to register our song as ours? We want to be over there because those guys are going. So when you look at what's happening in certain countries and you're looking at hit songs, it doesn't come to Ghana. It belongs to somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why would you want to do that? Is it because we're not confident? Is it because we don't want to start from the bottom? Is it because we just want to go with the flow? I was on, I saw you at the Ghana Music Awards UK.
Yeah.
And there was an up-and-coming artist. And I was having a conversation with him. And he was sweating. And he had a guy behind him that wiped his forehead. And I said to the manager, this guy is not in the entertainment business because he's for the show.
Yeah.
Because you're an up-and-coming artist. Right. Why is somebody wiping your forehead?
Branding.
So we need to get, branding is great, but if your songs are not anywhere, you're not branding anything. So we need to understand that, we are in the music business. In the music business, I think, and I could be wrong, I'm happy to be corrected, I think we can't translate that into conversation with investors to invest in us.
Yeah,
I think that's where our problem is. I think we do great music. I think we have great artists. I think we have everything to do what anyone else can do. But I think we can't translate that into business for someone to go, this is what you want to do, take 100 million.
I think
that's what it is.
It's been over a decade
We still don't know how to
We
do
still
it.
don't have. I mean, and that's why I find it very interesting because maybe let's just say maybe our artists are not groomed to be business-minded, right?
But if someone's wiping your forehead,
How would you be good?
how would you be business-minded?
I mean, of course, there are a number of potholes that need to be filled when it comes to that conversation. But I'm just looking at enthusiasts who have the money. You know, you don't necessarily have to be an artist or a musician, right? But if maybe you went to school, you studied the business of entertainment, I mean, why wouldn't you want to take the risk and put your money into something? Because you see, the producer of the documentary said at the beginning of the documentary that he had it in mind for a very long time until he went to the Davide's concert where he saw the numbers. It's like, you know what, bam, that's money here. You get me? So after 10 years, we've seen our book bags come and go. We've seen our VIPs. We've seen our 4X4s. We've seen, you know, our Sako de Prières. And nobody's...
Do we believe in that?
I mean, I want to believe. I want to believe we have people believing in them.
over the years.
I mean,
We have.
But there are many people who can film documentaries and films, and they haven't done it. Why?
Yeah, but Ludwig, let me take you back about the whole registration thing. I have a problem with that because in Ghana, most artists don't register their song. Most of them. I wish I could sit here and name them, but they know themselves.
I dropped the tune.
I told you,
Go check
they
them
know
out.
themselves. They know themselves. They don't do the whole registration. It comes back to, do they even understand
No,
the show
they don't.
business?
They don't.
And that's the answer.
They
They don't understand. And for me,
They
I
don't.
think we have a long way to go. And I haven't watched the documentary because I read articles online, and the whole Afrobeats narrative, it really makes me sad. Every time they are putting Nigeria there, they'll say, oh, what is Afrobeats? They will define it. Then they'll come back to
Yes,
the
it's
brief
actually-
history of Afrobeats. That's when they'll put Ghana
Fela
there.
came to Ghana.
Exactly. Fela came to Ghana. It was High Life, and it transcended the narrative. Right now, let's find solution because our time is going. How can we change the narrative? What can we do better? What can the industry players do? The frontiers do? What can the artists themselves? Because they are the ones there.
Yeah.
We would do the little we can. What can we do?
I think I think the ones who knows because we have. Okay, I think it's not fair to say not everybody understands the music industry. There are people.
Some
who do.
understand, yeah.
There are a lot of people who do, but I think they don't share the information.
That's another thing with us.
They
as
don't
Ghanaians.
share the
They don't
information
share
about
information.
how
To,
it works.
they don't share the information to everyone.
That's it. So
Okay.
therefore, you have people who are struggling, and I think we need to understand that as an industry, if I'm the guy on top today, if I don't tell you guys everything that's happening, and you guys are artists, I will not last for long. I need to be able to share that with you so we can keep going.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've got that yet. There are people, I know people who know music. They know business. They know. But it is kept in-house. And I think until somebody has some kind of a place where, we have a place called Musician Union. If you want to be an artist, you just go there. They give you everything you need. Like literally, like you just walk in, hi, I'm Killer Cam.
The one in Ghana.
In London.
Okay, I just had to ask.
No, but that doesn't stop somebody from setting up a shop
Yeah.
and saying I can give you all the information you need.
Okay.
I can give you all the templates you need. Just give me 20 CDs, take the forms. It's in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. We have the information available. Something is not making us do it. But I think we are at a stage where there are people who are used to digital communications, we are used to online, there are people who are number one on iTunes, so we know and we are having conversations around Twitter and that kind of stuff. Today, after this show, somebody in Ghana needs to open up a shop where if you're an artist, I can come to you, go online, all the information is there, download it, give it to all the artists. Because we need it to keep, because we can't keep saying, but Nigeria, they are doing their job, they are doing their business.
Another thing I just want to quickly chip in was a friend of mine who works with one of the streaming services actually hinted to me that the producers did reach out to some of our Ghanaian brothers and sisters.
Oh, yes.
And they declined.
They declined.
Yeah,
For-
they declined. They declined to speak on the documentary or even add or give information. I'm just saying because of what he said.
Why?
So I don't know if, see, that's another thing. Most of us as creators or even Ghanaians, we are short-sighted. Like,
Right.
we don't see, like, for some strange reason, the vision is always blurred. Like, we can't see what the future really holds. Because I'm sure if the producer told them, "Oh, Netflix has contracted us to do this." Maybe they're like, "Okay, we want to be a part of it."
But you
Do you see?
don't need Netflix.
But because I don't know, I'm just suspect. But
saying.
because maybe the approach or the invitation was, "Oh, we need so to put the documentary." So far as a Nigerian doing it, he will not give the information. But here we are today, talking about a product from Nigeria.
I mean,
There
we
was
are
a
still
national
we are
music
going
song.
for a quick.
We've got to go on a break.
Go for a commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Entertainment Review, and today the conversation is getting interesting and it's getting personal. Very personal. But we are still on the whole Afrobeat and the whole documentary. The further documentary, I would say I won't be shy. I haven't watched it. I will maybe sometime. But then, Desi, you and Olili have watched it, and there were interviews of people who spoke. We want to see how it's going to help their industry.
Well,
and what you have seen so far.
I was happy to see TikTok talk. Not TikTok. I mean, there was Stonebwoy.
There was Stonebwoy spoke. There was Ebo Taylor. Ricky, is it Ricky Osei? No, one of he was part of Usibisa. Teddy Osei.
Teddy Osei.
Reggie, that was the bit that got to me. Reggie came in when he started Hiplife first, yes. When he was the Bugga and had come fresh, he went back to the UK and was on a show called, it was by R70 Media.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the name.
Ken
there was a show like that. Yeah. And that was when he said, I've been in the UK for a while. I just came back to Ghana. I want to fuse, he was doing all of those things. So that was the very first time he came. Yeah. Apart from that, I didn't see him in the video anymore.
So no VIP?
No, but so far we haven't seen. Maybe you see, the reason why I can't even make definite statement right now is because I want to think that there is another season, or maybe there is another episode that is yet to drop, right? Because
how things are going.
Because you see, when I first saw the trailer, and my brother Sheldon would laugh at me today, I was so excited. Why? Because I saw montages of Sarkodie or Brafo, and so I was like, oh yeah, Charlie, we did. But I was watching them like,
You were being forwarded.
Like I was like, yo, because you see, when you start watching the documentary, for those who haven't watched it yet, I was bored by the first 2 episodes until I saw TikTok. Like, okay, here we go. Let's
true.
Because they were talking about the evolution of Nigerian music. That was it. So I was like, they don't call
it.
And
they have named it Afrobeats.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the documentary.
It's a business.
That's how it looks to me.
So don't call it Afrobeats.
They are doing business.
They don't call it the backstory. Call it the
Nigerian
music. This is where we get this thing confused. They are doing business. We are being emotional about something, and they are doing business.
So right now, before we go, let's find solution.
We need to do business.
How can we?
The solution about this, and how can we do that? We've got the Afrobeats going down. I don't know about Hiplife, if Hiplife is... Do we put Hiplife under Afrobeats?
No.
As everybody...
It's a different genre.
I mean, to be fair, if you ask me, I don't even think Afrobeats is a genre, if you ask me. I think Afrobeats is just a canopy where all the African genres find
put
themselves.
together. I think that's what Burna Boy said.
So Hiplife is Afrobeats.
Yeah, Afrobeats.
Like, because you see, the whole idea of Afrobeats was that
it's a subgenre, though, isn't it?
I mean, that's for me. I don't know for other, but for me, because this is how I'm seeing DJ Abranti, and I haven't spoken to him, so I can't really. I see it as, okay, I'm playing songs from Africa. How can I coin this thing and put them under one umbrella? Because he had a playlist. He named the playlist Afrobeats. When he goes to Indigo, he's playing African sounds. He goes to O2, playing, and then we had our parties, the December in Ghana, and all those things where Uncle D was featured in, and you realize that, okay, there was that infiltration of African music, or at least the West African music, into a place like UK. So if you watch Afrobeats carefully, before Afrobeats really hits the world proper, it has to go to the UK.
They all come.
Before it hits the US and all, it has to go to. I mean, how did Wizkid get Drake? It was through Skepta.
True.
It was Skepta who got Drake to be with. So it's like UK has not become.
Are you saying that he was doing business?
Well,
Yeah, it's
So
yes,
we need
it
to
was
mention-
business.
Coming back to
It was
limits.
business.
I mean,
It
that's
was
why the
business.
last
We
time
don't
we were
do
talking
business.
about.
We don't
The last
do
time we came
business.
In
here.
Ghana, we don't do business.
The last time we came here.
We are not doing the business we can do.
Okay.
We're doing
O-
some
Olele-
business, but I think we can do more,
More
business.
business.
Olele,
The last time,
wrap up
the
on
last
that,
time
yeah.
we came here, we were giving props to someone like Denta.
Yeah.
If we had like 3 or 4, even 5 dentists.
Dentist.
Because the person who put the documentary together when he was younger, 20 years ago, he was putting the plans together. He was doing all of those things.
So I don't know if Denta is watching. If you got plans, let
We
people
have
know. So like, because look, I'm still waiting for the episode where Professor John Collins is featured. Because that man is a working institution.
Yeah.
He knows it from back, front, middle, and he wasn't featured. I don't understand why.
We're gonna
So
have
then we have to have
We're gonna
our...
have him on next week.
Because
Yeah.
it's not us doing the business.
Okay, so
Yeah,
how do we do the business now?
Okay, so people are watching this show today.
Yes.
There are people who can film, people who can do editing. They need to get together with musicians and write the Ghana narrative.
Okay.
Forget what everyone. What we do is that we look at someone's done something and we say, "Where's our part?" But we can do the same thing.
But you see, I also want to throw the challenge to our government agencies.
I wouldn't even go there.
No, I'm not.
Let me tell you why I wouldn't go there. Let me tell you why I wouldn't go there.
Allow me to be a little bit violent.
We've got a few minutes.
Allow me to be a little bit violent.
With the A or the I?
There you are. Let me use the A.
Yeah.
Because, to be very honest with you, what has the government agencies responsible for our culture, art, and tourism really done for us?
As the creative arts
What is
agency,
our artist who knows the business doing for us? What
No,
are our
no,
directors who know doing
so I'm
for
saying-
us?
so-
Why are we waiting for someone
I'm
to do
saying that
Netflix
if
to
a
come and
baby
talk
does not know
about
how
it?
to feed himself.
Yeah, why are we waiting
Feed
for
the
someone?
baby first.
Why are we waiting for someone to do Netflix for us to talk about it? We
Well, you
have
see-
directors in this
you see,
country.
the thing is,
we have people who know the history. We have the artists here. We have the Zap Mallets. Why do we need to wait?
It comes back to what he said, the finance.
The stories are
But the
there.
guys who film the videos don't need finance. They are friends. They do music videos and put it on TikTok.
That's
We need to understand that we are doing business.
good.
No, but I'm saying
And
once
once
we don't
understand we're doing
understand.
business, we can invest in
Ludwig.
ourselves. Once we invest in ourselves, we can say, government, this is what we've done. We need to push.
Do you know why this is a problem? We are not talking about documentary.
Only we've got a minute.
Okay, we are not talking about a documentary that has aired on maybe a local TV station in Nigeria. We're talking about Netflix.
Netflix.
How did it get there?
That's what I'm saying. Connect.
Oh, but for them, they are focused on Nigeria, Kenya,
Connect.
South Africa. Ghana isn't part.
So you see, it
even
all
if-
comes back.
So what are we going to do?
The
to
reason
do
why
that?
I'm saying it comes back to our government agencies because Netflix has an office in Nigeria.
Yeah.
They have Netflix Nigeria,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
Nollywood has partnered with Netflix. Now, Netflix Nigeria started from Iroko TV.
yeah.
That was how it entered the industry. We are here, Gali who may be Alpha.
Yeah, so
No, to start
It's Black Star
it's a
Films.
Black Star Films.
So I don't have time. So
You know what? We've got to wrap it up. Let me say big
On
shouts
that
to you.
note, we have to wrap
Yeah,
up.
let me. A
But-
friend contributed to it. Kafui Amrago. He says that everything starts in Ghana, and Desi Hammer of the Lasso Records has a documentary titled "Sounds of Our Time." The production isn't up there, but it's a good start. And anything good that happens in Africa probably started from Ghana, like movies, films, even scam.
the guy TG Omori
Yeah.
said he learned most of his music video direction from our own Ohene.
No, that was an older, someone in the 70s from Nigeria. He learned from Ibrahim
Ohene Jan.
Yeah.
Jan.
And at that time, the kind of videos we were putting out, the Nigerians were not even close.
weren't
But
even
today,
there.
But sorry, before we go, I mean, I see this whole thing that, our comfortability in...
Too comfortable.
We are
Yes,
too comfortable.
we are too
That's how I see this. We are
comfortable.
too
Ghana, dear.
comfortable. We having the thoughts that, okay, we've done something. Hey, like our Kente, for instance. We don't even know if we are the ones that own it.
Yes,
we have other African countries that have come to learn the skill
Maybe
here,
Europeans.
and they are owning Kente. And then
You
we
know-
are just here.
Let's wrap it up, guys.
I mean,
stories
we have
are
to
there.
have this whole
We
set
need to have another
again.
one, yeah.
Maybe next week Tuesday, producer,
Yeah.
we are begging you. What you have the same set. And then we will talk about what Burna Boy said, not really putting himself into Afrobeat, but
Yeah.
Afrofuture. For me,
Yeah.
I stand with Burna Boy.
Afrofuture.
Me too.
Yes, Afrofuture.
He says
I-
an Afrofusion artist.
He's Afrofusion.
Afrofusion is still a subset of Afrobeat.
But he is trying to say they are trying to put us in a box. If we don't untangle ourselves now, we can't
It's
make
another-
it.
You know
what, let's
But
do this
then, we
next
have today's show. My name is Nanaya Tanawache, and I did this with.
Well, that's Fading the Star Boy, and
Esiedua Akumia.
And big shout out to our guests for coming in. We will continue the conversation. Up next is News Flash with Kenneth Jesse. Enjoy the rest of our programs.